That's muted. You're on there this time? I don't know. I had YouTube issues. That, I've got them under control today, though. Everybody's on here except for, yeah. Where are you? Are you in the right meeting?
The one for today.
Yep, that's what I'm waiting on. Not there. Still don't have you on it. Are you sure you're in the right one? That's the only one there is. There you are. I'm doing it right now. How are y'all?
Good. How are you, Judge?
Good. Good morning.
This is 003-644-2020 Suzanne Sosa Lunar versus Bobby Don Lerma. Probably I'll start with who you are and who you represent.
I'll start, Judge. My name is Ward Majin. I represent the plaintiff in this matter.
Okay.
Good morning, Judge. Ryan Getty representing the defendant in this matter.
I think we're here on a motion to quash a notice of, is it deposition by written questions?
Yes,
Yes,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Okay. And I've read the motion and the response to the motion. I guess since it's a plaintiff's objections we're dealing with, I guess plaintiff could start first.
Okay, Judge, and I'll be brief. I wouldn't imagine this is going to take real long. This is a car wreck, took place in 2018. My client was rear-ended, and she got some treatment from a chiropractor and a neurologist, in short. And ultimately we've ended up in this lawsuit. She has, she testified that she had had some injuries in the past. She testified that she thought around 2012 that she had gotten disability through the Social Security Administration. And she wasn't quite sure when it ended, maybe 2015, but that's kind of the zone. And and over the course of discovery in this case, so far the defense lawyer and Ryan, have gotten along pretty well, and they have sent out a bunch of DWQs, and we had worked out resolutions where we could, since I don't know what's in a lot of the documents that they were seeking in the past, other things like insurance records and medical records, we'd worked out a resolution where his company would go get them. I'd get to look at them before they were in Ryan's hands to see if there's something objectionable. Because every now and then, for example, in these Social Security records that they're seeking, I don't know what's in them. And if there's personal information that really I don't believe would be pertinent to the lawsuit, I'd in the very least like to be able to capture those pages and put them in front of you for an in-camera review. And so that's what I've suggested in this case, and they've declined to do so. And so since I don't know what's in those Social Security records, I filed a motion to quash. And ultimately, because we couldn't work out an agreement, we're here before you to see if they can just blanket get them, and I don't have any idea what's in them until everybody gets to see them at once. And so that's the short version. And so I'd like to work out either you say, no, you can't have them, or, and I don't want to overstep my boundaries. I think that would probably be, a little bit extreme. On the other hand, I'd like to be able to know what's in them before everybody gets them, and I don't have a chance to object.
And your response to that is?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. So a little bit different. So yeah, we have agreed on some medical records and things like that. And I can understand if they're in some people's medical records, sometimes maybe there's some personal issues, things like that are not relevant. However, these records, she applied for disability. I narrowly tailored them. I'm only asking from 2011 to the present. Her deposition was the first time it was ever disclosed that she had a disability claim, that she was on disability. One of her claims in this lawsuit is past and future physical impairment. So my argument here is anything in the disability file that relates directly to why she's disabled, how she's disabled, what they looked at when they made that determination, it's all discoverable. Now, we can argue relevance, obviously, and I told Mr. Majan if he wants to come to some agreement, if his client's concerned that this information will go somewhere beyond my desk, I'm happy to enter into some kind of agreement that these records will not be reproduced or sent anywhere without prior approval. But I just think we are starting to see these all the time, and you may be seeing them too, Your Honor, where plaintiffs' lawyers, I know they're telling them this in CLEs, is when defense counsel sends out DWQs, just quash them. And they send a copy of the motion to my record service, who's my agent, and they say, whoa, in this motion, it says it's automatically stayed. And in this case, these disability records sometimes take 3 to even 6 months to get. So now we've been delayed even further. And we may be asking for a continuance of the trial date next year if we don't have these records yet. So that's sort of the basis. I think I'm entitled to them. They're certainly discoverable. I think they're directly relevant. And I think we're entitled to get these records.
I think you are too. Yes,
may I interject, Judge? I
Sure.
mean, with all due respect, I didn't know it was going to be a personal attack. I have not been to a CLE that's instructed me to go ahead and send out massive motions to quash. The reality is it's Social Security Administration records I don't have. And if there's information in there that's related to my client's claims, that is head injury and a neck injury, I get it. I'm not going to try to keep those from the other side. I just don't know what's in there. If she has HIV issues or some kind of marital dispute, I just don't know. So what I'd like to do is just to be able to see them and not control them, because they'll be in the control of Ryan's company and his hired third-party contractor. So the reality is just give me a few days. Generally, it's like 10 days to take a look to see if there's something. Hey, if there's 5 pages in there that I don't think any relevance. Well, maybe I can ask the judge to help us out because once you open the box and just hand them over to the defense lawyer, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not thinking that Ryan's going to do anything nefarious, but the reality is my client was hurt, and I don't think that gives him broad discretion to go get every single record without me having a chance to see what it is.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I'll review anything in camera if y'all want me to. I don't have a problem with that. I think the defendant is entitled to those records, though. Entitled to look at them and see what's there. What I think what we should do is basically what you're suggesting is have the records delivered to the plaintiff's lawyer, have him look at them. If there's anything he wants to withhold, let me look at it, and I'll decide whether it's something that needs to be withheld or not. In addition, enter into a protective order of some sort that keeps the defendants from disclosing to any third parties. That's probably the best way to proceed from here. So how fast will y'all know what records are out there? Talking about 6 months still, or?
Your Honor, it's Social Security Administration. Sometimes I get them in 2 months, and literally sometimes it's 5 to 6 months, and I can't understand why.
No,
Other than it's a federal.
I don't know that either. Yeah,
And
it's
right now it's probably worse than it ever has been. So, but yeah, let's just do that. Just get the records in the hands of the plaintiff's lawyer. Whatever you want withheld from those records, deliver to me. I'll decide if it's something that should be withheld or not. But deliver the rest of the records to the defense lawyer, and we'll go from there. And then enter into some sort of protective order for the protection of the plaintiff's privacy, so they can't be disclosed to any third party without permission. Okay.
That sounds reasonable. And Ryan, I'll draft something up, and as long as we're just quickly talking, as kind of a 10-day window for me to review them, and then was that acceptable to everybody?
Yeah, that's acceptable to me. And Judge, I do want to clarify, it was not a personal attack at Mr. Mage, and he's been very professional. We worked well together.
Yeah, I didn't think there was either. So, all right, if y'all draft that up, and then as soon as the records show up, we'll get them delivered as best we can. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your
Honor. Time, Judge.
Thank y'all.
All right, I'll talk to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Judge.
Take care.